Hello, everybody, and welcome to my review of Doctor Strange, the latest installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And the film stars Benedict Cumberbatch, Tilda Swinton, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Mads Mikkelsen. So, the basic plot. The plot of Doctor Strange is that it centers around this neurosurgeon named Stephen Strange, and he is basically this arrogant prick, and he ends up in a car accident that renders his nerves in his hands broken. He can't be a surgeon anymore. He can't operate things with his hands, and his hands are basically in a really bad way. So he seeks somewhere where he can heal himself. He finds out about this ancient kingdom. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me, but he heads there, and he comes across this sort of cult who basically teach him the art of mysticism and alternate dimensions, and he learns of this villain known as, I think his name is Khaleesi's. Let me just get that page up there. Where's the... Sorry. Yeah, Khaleesi's. Fucking noise. Khaleesi's, and he has basically stolen some pages out of these forbidden books, which contain secrets about the dark dimension. Ooh! And Stephen Strange has to basically put aside his ego and use his powers to save the world and not himself. So, that is essentially the plot, on a minor scale. I could go into more detail, but the movie is vastly complicated, so I probably should not do that. So, Doctor Strange. This one was quite a surprise, I have to say. I mean, considering the fact that he's not really one of the high-profile Marvel superheroes, and also there haven't really been many films made about him. He doesn't have as much notoriety as the other ones, I do believe. But this film made me love Doctor Strange. This is a fantastic film. Wow, I was blown away by this movie, I have to say. I mean, on a technical visual standpoint, it is absolutely superb. Cinematography, visual effects, stunning. Bam, absolutely brilliant. Marvel do a fantastic job. I mean, they have brought this to life. And, you know, I really like the story. I think the story is very interesting. It's something that we haven't seen before. It's something very different. So I feel that this is the first film for a long time in the Marvels, in the MCU, where things have really started to take a different shape. People from different cultures, different backgrounds are coming into play here, and that is brilliant. I can appreciate that very much. Let's talk about the cast, shall we? Benedict Cumberbatch. I wasn't really too sure how I was going to see Benedict Cumberbatch in the main role, considering that the origins of the character. He doesn't look completely like the character in the comics. I mean, he looks kind of, but not much. I thought Cumberbatch did a great job. I mean, I think he is considered a little overrated in in the past, but I think he has proved himself here, that he can take on something such as Marvel and do really well. And I hope that they do more films with him. I hope that he does another film with Doctor Strange, or he's involved in Avengers somehow. I mean, the possibilities are endless. And, you know, I have to give him credit where it's due. He did a superb job here. Probably one of his strongest performances for a while. I actually like his arc as a character. I mean, it's something that Marvel haven't... They kind of done it, but not in this way. In terms of the main character, the main protagonist being an absolute dick. He's a prick. I mean, he's a good surgeon, and, you know, he's very well respected. He's very good at what he does, but he is an absolute prick. And he's so self-centered. This is the one film recently with Marvel that I've realised they're trying to teach you life lessons. They're trying to say to you, you know, you have to let go of your ego, and, you know, in terms of this context, because it's about a superhero, if you want to save lives, you have to, first of all, not save yourself. I'm explaining that in a bad way, but you know what I mean. Basically, the live lesson is don't be arrogant, think of others before oneself. And that's a good message. I like that Marvel have encouraged that. They've started to encourage more messages rather than them just being random films where superheroes come alive. I think the strength of this is the fact that it doesn't really feel like a superhero film. It it doesn't feel like a Marvel film. It really doesn't. But I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It shows that Marvel can be diverse. And specifically in the casting as well, you have a fair amount of a diverse cast here. I mean, Chiwetel Ejiofor's in this movie. He hasn't been doing well. I haven't seen him in a film for a while, not since 12 Years a Slave, which is a bloody masterpiece. I need to review that one day. He plays Mordu, one of the masters of the cult, and he does really well as well. I think he's a good role. I would encourage everybody to stay for the post-credit scenes. Both of them. There's two scenes. There's one mid-credits and there's one post-credits. Stay for them. His character's very interesting. You start to see his loyalties change towards the end, and I hope that they explore his character a lot more in future films. If they're gonna do more Doctor Strange movies, they should definitely bring him back. He's a really cool character. Rachel McAdams as Christine Palmer, the other sort of doctor who Stephen kind of has a thing for, but they don't really explore it. I mean, to be honest, the whole romance thing could have been left out, but it's not. It doesn't damage the movie. It doesn't wreck the story. It's just something that's added on for no reason. But she's good. She's attractive as well. I like Rachel McAdams. I've got a bit of a crush on her, I'm not going to lie. She gives a very sensitive performance as well, which is nice. And she can see that Stephen is a prick. He's a prick, and he's not learning anything. He doesn't see that, because he's so wrapped up in himself. He doesn't see the bigger picture. And I like her character was very caring and kind, and I thought that was great. One person that really surprised me was Tilda Swinton. She was fantastic in this film as the Ancient One. I mean, I remember Tilda Swinton 10 years ago when she played the witch in Narnia, in The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. Well, she's actually in all three of them, but that was her main appearance, was The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. Blimey, she doesn't look like she has aged a day. Tilda Swinton is great. I think she's gotten younger. I think she looks younger. But her character goes through some very interesting arcs. The fact that we don't understand her motives until, well, the later half of the film. In a sense, you could say the fate of the character is somewhat predictable, but, you know, I let it pass because I thought, you know what, they haven't done a complete cliche where, oh, you know, the master, master teaches the person, then the master is withdrawn, then the student has to become the master. They don't do that. Well, they kind of do, but they don't. You'll understand it when you see what happens to her character. She's very interesting. Mads Mikkelsen as the villain, Caecilius, I think that's how you pronounce it. I can't pronounce all the names very well. Caecilius, I liked him. He was good. Most people would remember Mads Mikkelsen in Casino Royale when he played Le Chiffre in the Bond movies. That was actually 10 years ago, funnily enough. He hasn't aged. He has aged pretty well as well, to be fair. Here's some pretty good fight scenes with Benedict Cumberbatch. The character himself, you can kind of understand why he's doing the bad things he is. I mean, ultimately, antagonists are there to create problems for the protagonists, and he does that. But you understand the motives. He's not just being evil for the sake of it. There is a reason. There's a fundamental reason to why he's doing what he's doing. It makes sense. So yeah, props to the writers for that. It's written very well, though I must say, as much as I like this film, I love the concept and everything. It is fantastically envisioned. It's a bit complicated. It's bloody confusing. In terms of, they have to explain a lot of exposition in terms of the concept, like the controlling the dimensions and everything, and it's very technical, very complicated. A lot of younger audiences might struggle to understand it. I kind of get it. I mean, if it is what I think it is, I get it, but it took a lot of explaining. Maybe they did rush some of the exposition, but I still got it in the end. I still got it. For one thing, I think it's Marvel's probably one of their most visually stunning movies. they've made so far. In terms of the MCU, it's probably the most, if not one of the most visually stunning movies. Has to be said. It's really technically a great achievement. I don't think I've seen visual effects this good since like Gravity or Avatar, and that was like nearly, well, Gravity was 3 years ago. Avatar was a bit longer than that. I won't go into spoilers because I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but do stick around for the post-credit scenes as well. I really like the concept, the way they introduce time travel as well. Well, not so much time travel, time loops. The concept of time and how it can be meddled with. Time meddling. I like that. I mean, the first time that Stephen sees a glimpse of what he's in for, when he's passing through time and matter, and it is brilliant stuff, fantastically envisioned, and you're reacting in the same way as he is, like, my god, this is amazing. I mean, the film, it's not just another Marvel movie. That's what I like. I mean, I was worried when I watched the trailer. I was like, okay, this is just another Marvel movie with impressive visuals and some good action. But it doesn't. It does something different. It actually makes me have a lot more faith in Marvel now than I had. Well, I mean, I do like Marvel, but recently, I mean, over the past few years, I have been getting a little bit tired. But this has piqued my interest again. I think it's fantastic. There's some great drama as well. I mean, in terms of emotional drama, I suppose the fact that Stephen is dealing with his injuries, but even then, the character's a prick, so you don't really sympathise with him until the end. Like, he has to become a better person, so in that sense the arc is nice, but you don't feel the emotional punch like you do with Civil War or some other films. But it definitely has its moments, and you definitely feel like he has a strong connection with Rachel McAdams' character. I mean, the action sequences are bloody amazing. I mean, wow, I've not seen action this good like for a while. I mean, Marvel have always been great with their action. This is definitely one of their best films to showcase their action, partly because of the visual style of these sequences. They're all very, like, the visual effects are all so seamless. I mean, you know, obviously it's a green screen, but the film, because I was so into the film, I kind of forgot about the green screen stuff. It was in the back of my mind subconsciously. I was like, yeah, they've used the green screen, but I was so involved in the world of the film that I didn't care. I was like, wow, this is fantastic. The way that they've choreographed these sequences is superb. I mean, the way Stephen sort of harnesses his abilities is great. And I also like the message of the film is that sometimes we have to break the rules to do the right things. And yeah, that could also be applied to life as well. I mean, the ending leaves a lot to be desired as well. Like with Chiwetel Ejiofor's character basically stepping away from, you know, what he's known all his life. I mean, it leaves a lot to be teased in the next one. I'm sure there is going to be another Doctor Strange movie. And the pacing I thought was very good. It moved at a good old pace. I never got bored. It kept me interested. And it's also, from a production standpoint, it just looks very different. The fact that they go to another country. Again, the name escapes me. If somebody knows the name of it in the comment section, please let me know, because I've probably forgotten. And yeah, there's a huge more amount of diversity here as well. The cast is much more diverse than before, and you know, I thought it was really good. And I like the whole sort of outer body stuff, astro body. I think that's what they called it, astro body stuff. There's a great fight sequence in the hospital with the two astro bodies fighting. That was really cool. It's very exposition heavy. That would probably be my main criticism, is that it gets a little bit cluttered in the exposition part of things, but you get the general premise of what they're doing. Just the details, the devil's in the details. You don't get everything, but it's not a bad thing. And you could say Tilda Swinton's fate is somewhat predictable, but not really. This is a very strong contender to be the best Marvel film. I think it's really, really good. The direction is spot on by... Who actually directed this film? I've forgotten. Scott Derrickson directs this film. I don't know what other films he's done, but he's done good. I mean, in terms of the comedy, Yeah, there's some okay comedy. I quite liked the comedy. I don't think the film would have. There was a couple of hit and miss bits, like the bit with the Wi-Fi password, which we've all seen in the trailer. I was like, yeah, okay, you know, it's trying to modernise that, but yeah, if they made Doctor Strange back in the day, we wouldn't have had that for obvious reasons. So, and also the music score is great by Michael Giacchino. He's composed some really lovely themes, and I did stay, like I said, I did stay for the credits. I listened to his score. I mean, throughout the movie, there's some great music, especially when they have that London chase scene. You understand when you watch it. I don't want to give anything away because it's so. You have to see it to believe it. It's so visually out of this world, literally. So yeah, I'm gonna rate Doctor Strange a very strong 9 out of 10. Yeah, it's a really great movie. It surprised me. It really did, and I think people should go and see it. I might try and see it again if I get a chance, but it depends on the money and everything. So yeah, that's really it for now. I will eventually probably review all of the MCU films. I'm going to review the Captain America movies at some point. I've also got to review Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. I'm going to see that next month, as well as Star Wars Rogue One, which I am really looking forward to. The trailers for that are looking fantastic so far. In terms of anything else, I might try and review some animated movies if I get the chance, but again, my life is very busy, so it's hard to distinguish time. But yeah, Doctor Strange, thumbs up from me. So that's it, guys. Thank you all for watching. As always, I'm Mr. TARDIS11. See ya.